Hi, I'd like to talk to you this week about your mind. What are you doing to and with your mind? And who's minding your mind? And what do you do to mind your mindset? Your mind, you know what they say, is a terrible thing to waste. So we have to make sure that what we put in our mind and what we put in our thoughts is serving us and not being a detriment to us. I'm reading a book right now called Mind Your Mindset by Michael Hyatt and his daughter Megan Hyatt Miller. And it's an excellent book. And basically, it talks about a narrator. You know that voice in your head that is always telling you a story, and that story might not even be a good story, but the story just keeps playing with you and keeps speaking to you and keeps talking to you and makes you think that certain things are the way they are, when maybe they're not really that way at all. Maybe your story is just, lying to you. Maybe what you're listening to is not really valid. So you gotta sometimes question the narrator and question the story that it is telling you. It reminds me of the devil, actually, really. I'm not saying that the narrator in this book is the devil, because it could just be us, just our own little trips about what we think is really the way that things are, or the way that things are going to continue to be. But just because things aren't working out the way you think or plan right now doesn't mean that they won't in the future. And you have to think about, well, what can you do to change your story so you can have the outcome that you want to have? I just want to read to you a couple of columns that are in this book, really fascinating. They talk about a limited mindset and a possibility mindset. The limited mindset says, there's no way around this problem. The possibility mindset says, every problem has a workaround. The limited mindset says, I don't have the resources. The possibility mindset says, I'll find the resources I require when I need them most. The limited mindset says, there are too many obstacles. The possibility mindset says, there are more opportunities than obstacles. The limited mindset says, I don't know how to go about that. The possibility mindset says, somebody has already figured out how to do what I want to do. I just need to locate them. The limited mindset says, that's not the way we do things here. The possibility mindset says, strategies are meant to be serviceable, not sacred. The limited mindset says, I failed, I'm a failure. The possibility mindset says, failure is feedback, not a verdict. The limited mindset says, I tried that, I'm no good at it. The possibility mindset says, you don't have to win all the time to succeed in the end. The limited mindset says, I don't have enough time. The possibility mindset says, constraints liberate more than they limit. Wow, that's pretty amazing. I remember a long time ago, I saw this movie with Jerry Lewis, and it was called Who's Minding the Store? And I thought about that story because that movie, because I said, who's minding your mind? Because in this movie, all kind of chaos was going on in that store. Every time something would happen, Jerry Lewis had to try to go fix it or mop it up, or he was like the cleanup guy or like a janitor or something. He was having so many issues and problems. And I think at the end of the movie, I haven't seen it in such a long time, he actually, I think, became the owner of the manager of something like that of the store. But I say that to say this, is that even though there's a lot of chaos and conflict and confusion, and maybe you don't know what the left hand is doing or the right hand is doing, and you can't seem to focus and figure things out, it doesn't mean that down the road you may be able to figure things out. And that's the whole point. That's the process here. Especially as a baby boomer, I'm realizing that more and more I have to take control. I have to activate my mind for what I want my mind to do. Amen. I can't let circumstances or situations or anything outside of my realm of focus to determine and to dictate what's going to happen in my life, and neither can you. You have to make sure that you ask yourself some questions like, well, what if this is possible? Or what if this could happen? Or what if I could do that? Don't just say, oh, I can't, or I won't, or it's never happened before, because they say as soon as someone says that's never happened before, someone else just goes ahead and does it. So it's really important that you ask yourself, what are you thinking? What are you thinking right now? What are you going to be thinking tomorrow? What are you going to be thinking before you go to bed tonight? What are you going to be thinking when you wake up in the morning? You have to make sure that your thoughts are purposeful, that your thoughts are directed, and that your thoughts are pointing up to Jesus, number one, and that you get the thoughts from him, because he is the one that's going to bless you with the most productive thoughts and with the thoughts that are going to be massive and give great changes in your life. Listen to this poem. Always live life to the fullest. Don't let go of hope. Hope gives you the strength to keep going when you feel like giving up. Don't ever quit believing in yourself. As long as you believe you can, you will have a reason for trying. Don't let anyone hold your happiness in their hands. Hold it in yours, so it will always be within your reach. Don't measure success or failure by material wealth, but by how you feel. Our feelings determine the richness of our lives. Don't let bad moments overcome you. Be patient, and they will pass. Don't hesitate to reach out for help. We all need it from time to time. Don't run away from love, but towards love, because it is our deepest joy. Don't wait for what you want to come to you. Go after it with all that you are, knowing that life will meet you halfway. Don't feel like you've lost when plans and dreams fall short of your hopes. Anytime you learn something new about yourself or about life, you have progressed. Don't do anything that takes away from your self-respect. Feeling good about yourself is essential to feeling good about life. Don't ever forget how to laugh or be too proud to cry. It is by doing both that we live life to its fullest. I just wanted to share that poem with you because that's one thing we have to remember to do. We have to remember to truly do our best to live life to its fullest and not let our mind confuse us or distract us or get us away from what God is telling us to do. As the older I get, the more I realize and recognize that it's up to me to be determined to do what I want to do. And my mind is the one thing that can keep me on the path or that can get me off. So get rid of all your self-limiting beliefs, get rid of all doubt, get rid of all hesitation, and remember what God says in Romans 12:2. He says to be transformed by renewing your mind so that you may prove God's will, his good, acceptable, and perfect will. And I can guarantee you that if you do that, you will be able to live life to its fullest, and you'll be able to truly, day by day, master your mind. I'll see you next week.